Hi, welcome to my channel. Stop quantum freezing your manifestation. Stop quantum freezing reality in the state that it's in now when it's undesired. It's not what you want. So you're looking at manifesting something, but you're holding the current 3D where it is. How are you doing that? And what the hell am I talking about? Okay, my favourite subject, quantum physics. I know pretty much zilch about it, only the basics because a lot of it does go over my head. But this I do understand, and this has stuck with me. When I read about this, I watched a lot about it online and I thought, God, yeah, I get that. Okay, what am I on about? You are quantum freezing your manifestation. So you are quantum freezing the situation as it is now. So reality cannot change. So the condition of your reality, so your situation cannot change whilst you have a very strong eye on it, whilst you are watching it. Now you might think to yourself that you're not overly attached to it or anything like that, and you probably not. It doesn't always the case that you're really attached to it, but what is going on is this. So this is how I'm going to describe how you may be quantum freezing the situation as it is now. Your manifestation isn't here. You are going about your day and you are slightly consciously aware that you are waiting. So you are in a waiting energy, and it's not overwhelming and it's not upsetting you and it's not getting you in a state and you're not angry, you're not frustrated, but you are slightly consciously aware that you are waiting and this manifestation hasn't shown up. So where is it? That's the energy about you. And it's a very subtle one, mostly, when we're doing this, but it is there nevertheless. So you could be a person that is really, really hanging on to something one minute and then lets go of it the next, and so gets that manifestation, comes in that period of time, and then you might get really attached to something and let it go again, so feel like, oh, it's never going to happen, and then it shows up. Or you could be the person that is going around with this slight conscious awareness of waiting. It isn't here. And it's kind of, I like to say waiting energy, because that's kind of what it feels like, isn't it? You are waiting for something to happen. You are waiting for your manifestation. Instead of kind of just believing that it could show up at any time, instead of just going, oh, well, whatever. All of those other things are really positive, are really great, are really aid manifestation. But waiting energy is your signal. So your frequency is, I am waiting for this. So whilst you are waiting for this, you are always going to get what you are feeling. So you're always going to get waiting back. So you are quantum freezing this. Everything is frequency in the universe. Absolutely everything is a frequency. I'm a frequency, the table's a frequency, the tree over there is a frequency, Jeremy's a frequency, Harry's a frequency. We are all vibrating at a certain frequency, and your frequency, whilst you are waiting for something, is the frequency of waiting. So that is how you hold something in place, because if you are waiting for it, then reality can do nothing but give you that back, give you your version of events. So the narrative that you are creating, you are doing that with your frequency. You are creating a particular narrative, and that is what you are going to see in pictures in your 3D. Just imagine that you are writing a screenplay with your frequency, and that screenplay is showing to you on the big screen all of the time as you move through life, and it can't do anything different than respond to your frequency. So whilst you are your frequency is of waiting, then you will be waiting, you will be quantum freezing your situation. You cannot change the condition of it whilst you're doing that. So okay, it's one thing to talk about what you're doing, isn't it? But it's another thing to kind of give you a solution to that. So my solution is this. First of all, you realise that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I am slightly consciously aware that I don't have this. Okay, so I am quantum freezing the situation. Okay, this is science. I can't change science. So what can I do about that? You have to practice detachment, basically. You have to practice the state of detachment. And that doesn't mean you have to be detached all of the time. But you need to be detached some of the time, and that just means that you are doing something, you are going shopping, you are seeing your friends, you are going out for drinks, and in those moments you are not thinking about it. It is not in your conscious awareness. That is you detaching. So how do you get to that point? First of all, by noticing what's going on, and you will shift slightly when you notice and you realize that that is what's going on. And then you work at detachment. So you use the phrase detachment. You don't have to say, I am detached. In fact, I wouldn't even suggest that you do, because that can cause resistance, because you just think, your rational brain goes, no, you're not, you're not, you're really attached, and it can cause the opposite. So just so detachment, just wake up in the morning and go detachment. keep saying it. Whenever you go towards this feeling of waiting where you can feel it, just go detachment, or use the phrase that I use, which is whatever. Yeah, whatever. You're not saying whatever to the thing that you want. You're just saying whatever to your feelings, whatever to anything that's holding you back. Yeah, whatever. You do whatever. That word is really, really powerful and really aids detachment. So then let's say you get to a week later and you think, oh my God, I went an hour and it definitely wasn't in my conscious awareness. What you don't go is think, oh, well, why didn't it come then? Okay, so it should have come then and it didn't come. There's nothing to say anything should have come when. We have no idea. Neville Goddard would say there is an allotted hour for everything. I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think the allotted hour only comes from what's going on inside of us. It doesn't come from any outside source saying, oh, it's not the allotted hour for this. I don't believe that. So I kind of go with what he's saying, but it's only dependent on what's going on inside of you. What is the best time for you that you know is the best time for you? I really think it's only that. So let's say you do go that amount of time. What you do, and this is so bloody powerful, this, is you congratulate yourself for going that time. You go, that's amazing. I've just gone an hour and I haven't thought about it. I haven't even considered it. How amazing is that? Because I haven't done that before. So, and you give it momentum. And when you do that, you'll then start to get more periods of time like that. And it will be in one of those periods of time that you manifest. You manifest when you are busy doing something else. It is just a fact, and even Neville would have said that. You manifest when you're doing something else, because you're engrossed in something else. You're an open doorway for that manifestation to come in. It's like, oh, there's a space, brilliant, I can get in there now. There's no barrier, in I come. And there it is, and you're like, whoa. Well, it's funny, isn't it? Most of the time when I've manifested stuff, in the moment that it happens, I feel very natural about it, and I just think, oh, right, okay. And then I sit and I consider, and I think, God, that's quite big. That's pretty bloody huge. And that happened without any effort whatsoever, because I was just practicing the state of detachment. So what detachment does, and that's you looking away. And so when you are looking away, the observer effect, quantum observer effect, you allow that situation to change. You allow the condition of all of the atoms that are needed in order to do certain things, in order for you to get what you want, to start behaving differently. And that's how you get what you want. You don't see what you want whilst you are busy observing, because the feeling is of not having it. So that's your frequency. Try and think about things in terms of frequency, because that is science, and that is an absolute fact that we are all frequency. Try and think of that, remind yourself of that, and then remind yourself of the observer effect, and that really does help. And then go, okay, if I keep doing more of the same, then nothing is going to change. I have to do something different. It's all internal. It's internal first, and then we see pictures of it on the outside. The external is a byproduct of the inside. Remind yourself of that, work at detachment, and then things get better from there. As soon as you start having those bits of time when you're not thinking about it, you will actually start to feel a sense of relief that you can actually do that. You just need to put your mind to detachment and stop putting your mind to the manifestation. Stop putting all of your energy into getting something whilst you are feeling like you're waiting for it, because you'll just be exhausted. Don't do it. Work at detachment, and then everything else just happens. It kind of has a domino effect from that point. But the key to it, and to having those periods of time whilst you're not observing, is to congratulate yourself, or say thank you if you think this is an external force. It's up to you if you feel that. We all think it's what we think it is, don't we? If you think it's God, and if you want to be grateful for that. I don't do well with grateful. I just prefer to go, I love that. That's amazing that I've just done that. Oh my God, how awesome is that? That's my preference, but you may not want to, and you may like gratitude. So just be grateful. So it's the vibe, good vibes only. It's the vibe that you're putting out, because that's when your frequency changes, and that's when your 3D changes. You cannot change anything, I'm just going to say it one more time, whilst you are constantly observing it as it is. You are holding it in place. You are quantum freezing it. Okay, I hope that this was useful. I might do a bit more about this. I don't know, I might do. I love talking about it in this way, but I don't want to scare people off. So let's see what sort of reaction I get to this one. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do that.